Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Welcome, sports fans, to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded. I am your host, Eric. My main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
Oh, well, I'm ready to go.
Fired up, ready to go.
Oh.
We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can also listen to us on all our audio platforms, as well as WDJY 99.1 FM in Dallas, Georgia. Thank you for your support there as well. We cover all of the weekly top sports stories going on in the world today. We debate them. We hope you are joining us live. And if you want to talk about it, let us know. Just chime in our chat box, and we will definitely make sure that we get you on our show. Kenny, thank you for joining us already. Let's go, Kenny, right? It is time. We've got so much to talk about, so much happening in the sports world, again, every single week, as usual. So I'm excited to bring it to you as well. But Ron, before we get started, I know we like to have a little fun. We talk about everything. You know what's crazy? Yesterday, I go out, I'm doing some shopping, doing some things with the wife. Happy 4th of July. Hopefully everybody had a great one as well. Come out of a store. My wife's like, hey, what happened to your license plate? I said, what do you mean? What happened to my Somebody stole my license plate off my vehicle.
Oh, they're probably robbing a bank.
Right. Isn't that crazy? So if you don't see me here next week, it's because I'm in some kind of jail being accused of robbing some. I'm like, what's the odds of that happening? You know, I didn't even think that happens anymore, but I guess it still happens in today's society. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So license plate gone. A lot to cover in the sports world as well, but we talk about everything. So let us know if you have something you want to talk about. We're going to start off with our leadoff story though, Ron, and it is the Boston Celtics. What a crazy week for the NBA champions. They signed Jason Tatum. They signed all of their free agents, and they put the team up for sale.
Yeah, did that come out of left field?
That when I heard it, and I remember Wick Grossbeck basically saying, "Listen, I am gonna be paid in parades. You got one parade, you're done. Like that's it. Like you're like I'm out. I've had enough. Like I don't or two, right? Because he had an 08. He bought the team in 2002. Ron, he paid $360 million. Team is now valued at $4.7 billion. I think he made out in his investment. And I think that the part that bothers me now is you sign all these guys, you got new ownership that may come in and say, wait a minute now, do I really want to take on all these additional contracts? Jason Tatum, max deal, 5 years, $315 million, highest paid player in the NBA now. I don't know. I don't know why at this point, you're selling the team. It does not make sense to me.
No, and now it also makes you wonder, are they going to have a sell-off, before they get bought? I mean,
I don't think they can, though. With these new contracts, that money would not be able to move easily.
I don't know. I think you can move some pieces pretty easily. I don't think you'd have a hard time, trading off a Brown or a Tatum, or even a Derek White. You might have a hard time with Porzingis, but he's only got another year left, right?
Yeah, after next year. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's too difficult. And I could see it happening when they go to pull the trigger. Does the new owner want those pieces, or do they want to completely sell off so they don't have to worry about the salaries as well as buying the franchise?
Mark, thanks for joining us.
That could be a big problem come playoff time,
Even after people, right? I mean, I'd be, and I think you said it correctly, Mark, right? Think about this as from a new ownership standpoint. what do they do now? Does that new owner look at it and say, wait a minute, you're obviously going to be in a luxury tax. You're obviously going to be paying fees. Yes, you have the world champions, but if you're running it as a business, which some people do when they get into ownership, you may say, hey, look, I don't know if I want all these pieces because it's going to cost me way too much money, which is insane. And then, listen, we talked about it for how many years? Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, can they win a championship? Can't do it. Not tough enough. They finally win one. And we're still talking about possibly moving on from one of them because you may get an owner that says, hey, look, that 1-2 in the salary in the NBA. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's a very big possibility, depending on how serious they are about selling the team, because he could change his mind.
But do you think you put it out there at this point, Ron, and not do it?
Maybe he just wanted to know how much it's worth, so that way he has
See if he gets
put in place next year.
Like if there's somebody that says, hey, I'll pay $5 billion for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Porzingis, you think, Mark?
Yeah, Mark, I don't, they might have a hard time, even though it's only one more year, they might have a hard time because of his injuries.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He's not even going to be ready for the regular season now. They're saying he's with the surgery on his foot. So he may not be a piece people want. To your point, Ron, Brown or Tatum, obviously at this point, their value is going up even with their contract. Based on they brought a championship now to Boston.
Yeah, and now you know that they have what it takes, and especially Brown winning, the Finals MVP. Look, if I'm a team out there and I'm one piece away, you have to think that they're going to be calling the Celtics, knowing that they're going to sell the team. They have to call. You have to check just to make sure, because if you can get Jaylen Brown, especially after how he played the entire playoffs, I mean, don't you want a guy like that?
I'm going to ask you this question. Ron, I'm going to ask you this question. Mark, if you're still there, Kenny, if you're still there, you guys chime in as well. Who's more valuable to the Boston Celtics now, though?
That's hard to say.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Who does Boston?
Look, Jaylen Brown showed me something. I was not a big Jaylen Brown fan. I mean, you know this. I say he was booting the ball all the time last year, right? He showed me something this playoff run, and I'm not sure I'd give him up.
So you go Tatum.
I'd move on from Tatum first.
Jaylen Brown, Kenny thinks, is the more important. As much as I want to say Brown, I still think it's Tatum, but extremely close, right? Like this whole playoff, even with Brown winning the MVP, winning the Finals MVP, right? I still think Tatum had more stats and more impactful on the games.
Well, it's those rebounds and the assists, the whole bit. Look, I mean, you pick your tool to win, right? And if you could only take one, which one do you choose? We all know that Jason Tatum can have, monster
50-point nights, right? And triple doubles.
But to me, even and this might not be, the consensus decision, but I still think Brown is better in the fourth quarter. He's better in the fourth quarter of games. And because, look, Tatum never really exploded in the playoffs. Brown did.
So let me ask you this question, Ron, too. Brad Stevens sitting back right now thinking, wait a minute, the last ownership that I had told me go out, buy pieces, get what you need, build me a championship, and win it. He does that. Do you think Brad Stevens now sits back and says, wait a minute, am I going to regret this decision? Because now I got to go to new ownership and say, look, while the previous ownership was here, they said pay everybody. Pay Tatum, pay Derek White, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett. Like they brought everybody back.
Yeah.
What does Brad Stevens say now? Like he built a winner. You built a championship.
Yeah. You know what the crazy thing is? They still added a piece on the draft, right? that's a pretty nice piece, and he has time to develop for the whole year, has time to develop. And, and Brad Stevens, I myself said, oh my God, we're going to have Danny Ainge 2 in there.
We were worried for a bit, right?
And it didn't turn out to be that way. It didn't turn out to be that. It did at the beginning. It looked pretty much the same. But then when it came crunch time, he did what he had to do to put the bodies, in the right spots.
I will say this, Ron. We always talk about donating in Sports Unfolded. If anybody wants to give each of us $2.5 billion, we will gladly buy the bosses out. We'll run them. We'll keep everybody. We promise. Right? We'll make the right decisions. Kind of crazy. So, Ron, before we move on to our next story, real quick, which of
Maybe
the
we
three
could do like one of those GoFundMe pages?
Yeah, right. By the Celtics.
To have us buy the Celtics.
There you go. I love it. So let me ask you this: Jason Tatum signing, the free agents that they brought back, or the selling of the team. If you had to say what was the biggest impact this week for the Boston Celtics, what would it be?
Well, unfortunately, I think it's the selling, because that is going to loom over the heads of the team. And I hope it doesn't affect them on the court, because now they have that in the back of their head right now. Are we going? Because, you've seen it in history. Every team that gets sold pretty much sells off the pieces. And it's going to be in the back of their heads the whole season.
And I think they said they asked one of the stars, and they were surprised that it's happening now, because Wyc Grousbeck seemed like such a good owner. And if we look at all the owners in New England or Boston, that New England, like he was rival with Bob Kraft now. Like Robert Kraft and him were kind of like neck and neck with who do you respect the most and what they've done for their organizations. And now it's like, wait a minute.
Well, there's only one real joke in New England, so. And it isn't the Bruins, Patriots, or
third place.
The Celtics.
Third place, big weekend.
Doesn't matter
for the Red Sox.
Doesn't matter.
All right, what great leadoff story. Go ahead.
Jaylen Brown's ring is back.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? How do you lose his ring already?
Floor seats, center court floor seats.
How do you know they didn't take the ring
for the opening game?
Whatever. Oh, so they get to watch a banner rise and everything.
They get the rings, the whole bit. Oh my God, what a deal they got!
I think they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
They stole it. This is some what's that? What was that movie? The Italian Job, where they.
It's a heist.
We stole the NBA championship ring, and we got paid with floor seats, my friend. All right, let's talk some NFL. A lot of talk about Brandon Ayuk and his status with the 49ers. Can the San Francisco 49ers afford to lose Brandon Ayuk?
Probably not. Because you look at it this way, they didn't win the Super Bowl. If you take him away, that hurts their chances immensely.
Ron, 16 games last year, 75 receptions, number one on the 49ers.
Yeah.
1,342 yards, number one on the 49ers.
He was
17.9 yards per reception. Guess what, Ron? Number one on the 49ers. 7 receptions for touchdowns, tied for number one. I think he's a pretty big piece of what Brock Purdy wants to do with that offense.
Yeah, because if you take him away, James is back.
Thanks for joining us.
Look, if you take him away, that kind of makes him pretty much a one-dimensional team. Even though it's not really, because you have Debo, but all you have to do now is just double Debo, and that changes a lot of things.
That sounds like a bad kids TV Nickelodeon show. Double Debo. I will say, you're right, though. Right? Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. But Brandon Ayuk is that guy that a lot of people don't focus as much on, because they're trying to stop Samuel. They're trying to stop McCaffrey. They're trying to stop Kittle. He's getting the catches. And I think for Brock Purdy and his development to continue to grow, you need a guy that he's very comfortable with, which is Brandon Ayuk. I don't know how the 49ers sit back and just wait on this. So he's already missed the OTAs and he missed mandatory minicamp. He's saying he wants to play for the 49ers. I don't think he shows up without a contract. I don't.
No, he won't. He won't show up without a contract. And apparently James was playing golf for 720 hours straight.
You are a man amongst men.
720.
You are the man amongst men.
He was golfing all June.
I went golfing the other day. I didn't see you out there, James. I was golfing Father's Day and all that. No, you weren't out there. Where you golfing, James, by the way? Maybe we should hook up. I'm really bad, though. I'm not very good at golf. I just do it for recreation and a few adult beverages. Usually pretty good. By the 9th hole, I really don't care what we're doing. I really don't care. Oh, my goodness. But I will say this, Ron. He's currently playing in the final season of his rookie deal, $14.1 million. So it's not like he's not making money.
No.
But I think for these NFL players, we know too, longevity is always an issue. And him to play this year, if he doesn't get a deal reworked, it's not worth it.
I think, look, you have to sign him ahead of time because no NFLer wants to go into their last season of a contract because if you get hurt, you're done. You never get that money back. So
let's get an outing. We should, but pay the guy or he's as good as gone. Yeah, right. I think you're right, Mark. James, we could set that up. We're going to have to go golfing. We're going to do it up, buddy. I love it. I will say this as well with the Ayuk thing. I think James said it perfectly when he said, listen, they didn't win it all. Right? And I think you said it as well, Ron. They need all the pieces they can get. And honestly, he's too big of a piece. You're not going to replace him. I don't care what you pick up.
If he doesn't come back, you got to add 2 pieces to win the Super Bowl.
And then
because you have to replace him and get something else that helps you win the Super Bowl.
They're knocking on the doorstep, and you don't take those opportunities. You know it doesn't come around that often.
No.
So great NFL conversation.
There's no guarantee they get back there this year.
Right? It isn't. And listen, as much as we think, I'm not even going to do your joke. Brock Purdy is pretty good, right? The reality is, listen, did he overachieve? Was it a matter of what's around him? And again, you still need all those pieces to stay healthy and to click on all cylinders again. And then obviously the playoff runs. It's so critical that you keep a piece like that this kid feels comfortable with. We saw it in New England. Listen, Mac Jones, I know we've had, but when you change pieces so much every year, if you have a guy that somebody's very comfortable with, and we saw it, what Jacoby Myers,
right?
What Jacoby Myers was his guy, was Mac Jones' guy. Like he went to Jacoby Myers, and I'm not saying Jacoby Myers and Brandon Ayuk are the same player.
No, it's a good analogy because you take away that piece, and now he loses his comfort zone.
Right, that was the guy you go to when it's 3rd and 6 and you need to play. He would go to Jacoby Myers. Now he was looking around. I don't know who to throw the ball to.
Right.
Brandon Ayuk, 75 catches, 1,300 yards.
He found some people to throw it to, but it was on the other team.
Wrong team. Realistic, what do they think? Back in the trade, right? Yeah, I agree with you. You're not going to get back. Let's just say on the high end, 2nd, 3rd round. I don't even think you get a 2nd round, maybe a 3rd, 4th round, which is insane to think about. He's much more valuable to you on your team than a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Yeah.
So, Mark,
it's going to be interesting to see what happens this summer, the rest of the way. I mean, we've only got a month.
Yeah, isn't that insane? Football, August, right?
Less than a month now.
We need it too, because man, we start to run a little thin here in the month of July. Little thin.
Hey, but we got the Olympics coming up.
We do have I'm so excited.
I love the Olympics.
Although now I got to watch all the promos with LeBron James, playing for the U.S. team.
No, I'm not going to watch any of the basketball. None. Maybe the 3-on-3s.
Allen went for a 4th. The market is all over the place for big names. Wide receivers. Listen, I know they're getting paid now, but still, I don't think you get a higher than a 3rd, 4th round for Brandon Ayuk. And that's still
because his age might dictate a 2nd.
Maybe, but I think a team wouldn't do it.
But like you said, Allen only got a 4th.
So James with all his obscure sports. He's curling. What's in that? What's the? I know
The
obviously
shooting.
swimming.
Isn't that the shooting?
They have the
stuff?
shooting now. The ski.
Where they have to ski and shoot.
That's the winter.
Oh, that's
You
winter.
just said skiing.
Ski.
Don't they have? What's the volleyball one? Not in the water. Water polo.
Beach volleyball.
Water
the
polo.
water
Table
polo.
tennis. Table tennis. Who doesn't love a good game of table tennis?
Of course.
What was that movie with the bear?
Forrest
Bear Fest
Gump.
or whatever. They had the they were playing ping pong. or table
Forrest
tennis.
Gump was too. He was like
Yeah,
a
well, you remember?
national-
I mean, come on. How great is it? I don't know, James. I don't know. We'll have to do a prediction with table tennis when it comes up.
Oh
James,
yeah, that would
welcome
be
back,
great.
right? Welcome back.
Everybody misses you, James.
We did, buddy. We did.
No more
Mark,
of this. No more of this golfing stuff.
we love it. We love this. We love having some people join us live. If you are live and you want to join in on the chat, help. Join Mark, join James, join Kenny, man. We love it. All right,
Love
Ron.
the input. Love the
It is
input.
time for our starting five.
Oh, this is gonna be a good one. As soon as I can find it.
Come in for the table tennis bracket. You are in, James. I already penciled you in, my friend. We decided to have a little fun. Our starting five this week, current NFL coaches. Who would be in our starting five for NFL coaches? This was a tough one, man, because there was some things that I sat back and I said, do I want this guy in my five? And I was, but all right. So I am first this week, but
this was easy. It took me 5 minutes to do this one.
all right, we'll see. All right, my honorable mentions. Sean McDermott, 73-41 in his career so far. Obviously has a Super Bowl win. Matt LaFleur, 56-27. We don't give him enough credit. Even after losing Aaron Rodgers, gets them back into the playoffs. I gave him an honorable mention. And then I liked his win percentage. Nick Sirianni, 34-17. He's gotten all 3 years he's been in the playoffs, in the postseason. So I like that. So those were my honorable mentions.
All right. My honorable mentions was Sean McDermott.
Got him. All
and
right.
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson, I was thinking about.
He won a Super Bowl.
But with the
We're
Eagles,
the backup.
Yeah. He beat some guy named Brady, too. That might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
All right.
pretty impressive.
All right. So let's start us off at 5, Ron. I'm going to say this. Just active coaches. Yes, James. Just active coaches.
Current
NFL coaches. They have to be active. Yes.
They have to be coaching right now.
I don't even know if I could say it. At number 5, Mike McCarthy.
Oh, come on.
167, 102, and 2 in his career. A 620 win percentage, Ron. He's 500 in the postseason, 11-11, but he did win with Aaron Rodgers, who nobody else can seem to figure out how to do. He got Aaron Rodgers a championship. I got him at 5. I have him at 5.
A Dallas fan is telling you no.
I have him at 5.
I'm
basing it on his career.
Dementia going on or something.
I'm basing it on his career.
Yeah, I don't
167 and 102. He's 65 games over 500.
I only have to go back 3 years for him to know that he's not one of the best coaches in the league.
All right, so nobody agrees with me. Go ahead. Who's your 5?
My number 5 is Sean McVay.
I have him higher. I have him higher. Okay.
I have him at number 5.
James didn't even have him as an honorable mention, Mike McCarthy.
No, I don't
bitter.
either, James. I don't either.
He's bitter, but it's okay.
Look, Sean McVay, I think, is still on the rise. If he can win another Super Bowl, I mean, he won with really a 500 quarterback, really.
He had the best defensive tackle in the league.
I know he did, but he still had an average quarterback.
Matthew Stafford is not average. Matthew Stafford is not average.
His record dictates it is.
I don't agree.
His record dictates.
He was in Detroit with no talent.
Well,
anyway,
I'm not
go ahead.
saying that.
So you got McVay at 5.
I have him at number 5.
All right. At
on
4,
the rise, though.
At 4, and I put him at 4 because I hate his postseason record. Mike Tomlin, So 173, 100, and 2 ties. A 633 win percentage. Very good. 73 games over 500. Outstanding. 8-10 in the postseason. I didn't like that. But he has 2 AFC championships, 7 AFC North titles, and obviously the 1 championship. So I got Mike Tomlin at 4.
Interesting. I have John Harbaugh at
Thank
number
you, Mark.
4.
Wow. I really got to see where you put some of these guys because wow.
Look, I have a 4-way tie for second, to be honest with you. I'm just reading
boy.
them off.
All right. So you've got John Harbaugh.
I have John Harbaugh
4.
because he's underachieved in the
4.
playoffs. He's
Okay.
underachieved in the playoffs.
Okay. At 3, for me, Sean McVay. 70-45 in his career, 609 win percentage, 7-4 in the postseason. I like that. 2 NFC titles.
I think we're losing you, Eric.
What do you mean?
I think we lost you.
You didn't. You're gone.
Oh, I think I am.
It's you, buddy. 2 NFC titles, 3 NFC West titles. You're back. 1 AP Coach of the Year, and obviously the 1 championship. So I went Sean McVay at 3.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now I can't. So that's who I had so far. Mike McCarthy, Mike Tomlin, Sean McVay. Those are my 5,
I'm
4,
guessing
3.
you lost me.
5, 4, 3. You're back. So we're looking at who's your number 3, Ron?
My number 3, I have Sean Payton. And again, I think he's underperformed in playoffs. I mean, you had Drew Brees.
He won 1 title with Drew Brees.
1 title with Drew Brees. I get that. But still, in this is a league that still had Peyton and Tom Brady at the time. So,
Okay.
But again, I think he underachieved, as did my numbers 2, 3, and 4. So,
okay.
But I see what he did with Denver and how they made a little run at the end of the season last year. And I think that's impressive.
Okay. I went at number 2, John Harbaugh. 160-99 in his career, 618 win percentage, 12-10 in the postseason, 1 AFC title, 5 AFC Norths, which you think how tough that division is, 1 AP Coach of the Year, and the 1 championship. So I went John Harbaugh.
Yeah, I had Mike Tomlin at number 2. To me, he's actually overachieved with this team because every year they take away pieces, and he still wins. Even when we think that he's had a not very good team, he still manages to get to the postseason. I mean, you just can't compete against teams like Kansas City.
I just don't like that 8-10 postseason.
I don't either, but he gets them there when they're not supposed to be.
Agreed. I could see why. I see it. You're right. Less talent probably than some of these other guys.
I'm going to refresh.
All right. So where we stand so far, we're ranking our starting 5 for our current NFL coaches: Mike McCarthy, Mike Tomlin, Sean McVay, John Harbaugh for myself. Ron had Mike Tomlin at 2, which leaves us at number 1. Are you good?
Yes, I think I should be fine now.
All right. So at number 1, Ron, give the man his cheeseburger, his hamburgers, and whatever else he wants. The Walrus.
It wasn't close.
Andy Reid, 258, 144, and 1. Mike Zimmer. With the Bengals, I had him. I 1 postseason, not a championship. I agree though. I mean, Mike Zimmer could possibly be in there.
There's a couple of good coaches out there that we need to see.
Yeah, and I could see the Peyton thing as well with Ron, but Andy Reid, like you said, Ron, by far stands out. 641 win percentage, dude. 640, 26-16 in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's had an NFC title, 4 AFC titles, 8 AFC West titles, 3 championships, an AP Coach of the Year, 3 times Sports Nation Coach of the Year. So, I mean, the man, Sporting News, sorry. I mean, think about how we thought
Well
how
decorated.
right?
Now
We
we're
used to,
talking about him being one of the top 5 of all time.
he may pass Bill Belichick. It
He
is up
might.
there. It is in that realm.
Yeah,
If he sticks around long enough and Mahomes can still do what he does,
yeah.
which is
I
insane
mean,
to think about, because we were like, there's no way this ever happens. And now
Well,
look, right?
we're on the verge of seeing, somebody else do it.
Think about if he could have got one or two out of Philadelphia. Like, he got to so many NFC Championship games, and he finally got there, and Donovan McNabb throws a ball over himself. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it happened. Well, Mahomes might also pass TB. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, Ron.
Yeah.
And James, I know you missed it because you were on the links. But, I mean, there's some stats that, yes, Mahomes may pass. I don't know if he gets 7 titles.
Yeah, that's hard.
We would, right, with 3 in fewer years, too. James just.
I mean, he could be right. I mean,
stir that pot, James. Don't make Tom Brady come back out of it. He'll do it. The man will do it.
He'll do it and whip his butt.
He'll do it. Great one. I like this one. This was fun. Maybe we'll do the NBA coaches next week.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr, baby. No. Oh, man. Where would you put, I mean, the Celtics, right? Like, he just won it.
Yeah, he's done all right for himself in 2 years.
Right? He might be in the top 5.
He might be.
That's insane.
He might be.
That's insane. Well, sticking with that theme, let's talk some NBA, Ron, because there was some moving and shaking going on in the NBA. We're going to talk about a couple of the big ones. Kenny, if you're still around, you want to talk about it as well. But Klay Thompson is now a Dallas Maverick. Do you think it's a good fit? Do you like the fit?
I do. In fact, me and Kenny had this conversation a few days ago, and I told him he's either going to Philadelphia or Dallas, and that is exactly what happened. He went to Dallas. I loved him there. I think he's a perfect fit for the Dallas Mavericks. That is going to make them a potential, return to the finals. I think that's going to help them a lot.
Golden State is officially roasted. But they just picked up a couple of dudes too, Golden State. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's the shooter they picked up? Kenny, who's the shooter they picked up? Golden State. They just picked up somebody good.
Buddy Hield.
Hield. Yeah. Right? I mean, good shooter.
Yeah.
So again, Klay Thompson, 38.7% from 3 last year. As a team, Dallas shot 36% in the postseason and the regular season. So he's already improved them for the 3-point. But I will say this, 35 years old, Ron. Yep. And that scares me a little bit. We know he's had some injuries.
Yeah. You figure
how well does he fit with?
He's going to be okay for a year, maybe 2.
How well does he fit with Kyrie and Luka?
I think that's perfect, because if you can penetrate and then you kick it out to him, I mean,
he's no Klay. Look at it already. Still no defense. Yeah.
No, they don't.
He got cooked last year defensively. Yeah. Listen, he's 35.
Yep.
Dallas don't play defense now. Right?
I know.
That was one of the things that we talked about, even in the postseason. Like, they're not a defensive-minded team. I like
what they got to focus on now. If they can put some defensive bodies in there, this is going to be a dangerous team.
I like the move in this aspect. Yes. They needed a third scorer. He averaged 17.9 points per season last year, right? So you think about it, that's 18 points. He doesn't need the ball consistently in his hands. Luka likes to distribute, do some funky things with the ball. So it works in that aspect. I don't think it improves them where they needed it the most, though. They needed guys that could play defense, that could rebound, right?
He might actually come off the bench.
That'd be insane. Think about that. I don't know.
If they can get a piece that's good defensively and put them out there when Luka and Kyrie are both out there at the same time, you might be very effective.
That's
having him come off the bench.
Listen, Vegas knows their stuff. In all honesty, they're not going to try to lose money. If their line didn't move, James, you're right. They don't see it as a big piece.
No, I
Vegas
guess
does
not.
not see this as a big piece. And I
Now-
seem to think that it isn't.
Now, what I would have loved, well, I wouldn't have loved it because then they'd have to battle for the Celtics. If he would have signed with Philadelphia, that would have been a move for Philadelphia to get George and him.
So let's talk about the Paul George signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. Is he their missing piece?
He's a part of that piece, I would say. I don't think. Look, it still doesn't put them ahead of the Celtics. Doesn't put them ahead of the Celtics. You needed another piece to go with him because now they have they've drained their bench.
Can I say I hate this? Because you know what we're doing? The same thing we do every single year in the NBA now. This is going to be Durant, Beal, Booker. We were like, holy cow. The guys barely played probably 30% together. You've got Joel Embiid, who is consistently injury prone. Thank you. Got to stay healthy. Thank you.
Yep.
Now you pick up Paul George, who's kind of injury prone as well. So now it's Tyrese Maxey and hopefully one of these guys every fifth game. I don't like this move. Like, to me, they should have went after younger pieces that they knew were going to be able to be on the court.
This is a good piece to have. But the problem is they didn't go out and get another piece.
And that's my point. And
they needed another piece to compete with the Celtics. Paul George is not enough.
34 years old, injuries. He had his best season last year. From a point standpoint, his career averaged 20.8. He averaged 22.6. Great. He shot 3% higher from the field goal, from 44 to 47. Better 3% better from three. But again, you start to question the age, you question the health, you question the move to the East Coast now and in the Eastern Conference. I don't know if I like this move. I just feel like we're all getting hyped up. I love Maxey. I think that kid's a player.
Yeah,
I do. But I don't know if him being on that team makes them any better either, because maybe James has the odds on this as well. I'm sure Vegas moved them up a little bit, but I would still question Joel Embiid's health as the biggest piece in this, because I don't remember a season where he stayed healthy. I think one out of the last whatever. I don't remember it.
You know, it is a good piece. I do like him there, but again, it doesn't move the needle enough to compete with the Boston Celtics. I'm sorry, it's just not enough. They would have had to go out and get Clay as well. You know, and I'm not even sure that's enough.
That's an aging guy that doesn't. What is that going to do? So I to me, they should have went younger. Try to get some of these young kids that are right on the cusp, and now you partner them with some really good players, and maybe they get better.
You know what I think? I think Bridges would have been the guy.
I love that move. I think the Knicks that's a phenomenal move for the Knicks.
But I'm saying if Philadelphia would have gotten him, that would be the move that scares me.
Because that's what they did. They kept getting all these guys, and I don't know. I just don't know. And I agree, Mark. They don't get the return on this. Is a 4-year deal. That's why the Clippers didn't want to sign him.
That's too long.
The Clippers did not want to.
Too long.
They need bench help. Celtics are far way too deep. So again, it's like you didn't improve enough to even. I still think the Knicks are ahead of them. With what the Knicks
Bridges.
did.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you guys I'd still put Indiana ahead of them over Philadelphia. I don't know if they might be in the top 5 in the Eastern Conference, but I don't think it moved the needle enough for me.
When you look at all the free agents that were out there at the time, there are a couple of teams that could have really moved ahead if they would have picked up 2 of them, but nobody picked up 2 of anything. And therefore, the status quo is in effect in the NBA, and nobody has moved ahead of the Boston Celtics.
Bronny James, though, 4-year deal. I mean, come on.
Are we really going to go there?
Let's do it, Ron. We've got people live. They're chiming in. How do you feel about this Bronny James getting a 4-year,
Joke.
$7 million deal from
It's
the
a joke.
Lakers?
And I go back to last week's statement on how much of a circus the Lakers are right now. They're a joke right now.
What do you mean? LeBron now 2 years, $104 million. I mean, what a great deal.
I love that pay cut he took to help
he's
team.
40. Do you realize his youngest son now said his dad will be 42. He may wait to retire before to stay in so he can play with both kids. They will make more money in merch, right? The James and James, Bottles and James, wasn't that what? Unbelievable, right? It's crazy. Yeah. How do you give a second round pick, number 55, $8 million?
It's stupid. It is a team that's going to be sorry in a year or two.
LeBron James, who can't stay healthy.
Nope.
And now you just basically let him run your team into the ground.
Yeah.
He ran their team into the ground.
Yeah.
And if I'm Anthony Davis, I'm JJ Redick, I'm any of these guys that are kind of just involved in this now, I'd be like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
If I was Anthony Davis, I'd ask for a trade.
Kid averaged 5 points in college. Although he was gracious enough to say he will play in the Vegas Summer League. Thank you, because at least maybe you need some. Let's see what this kid's got. Let's see this $8 million. This is, you know what this is?
This is a disaster waiting to happen.
You know what's going to happen? This is the Caitlin Clark thing in the WNBA, where all those they got jealous and they started to look at her differently because she got the endorsements ahead of time and all this thing. You don't think that there's going to be guys out there that want to go after him now?
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to want to prove a point?
Absolutely.
They won that in-season tournament, though, the first one ever. You got that. Great. You got that right. They hung a banner, too, for that. Joke. It's a joke. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. I don't understand it. I don't even understand what Laker ownership is doing right now. Jeannie Buss, who I thought was at least halfway intelligent, I don't get it. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. All right, Ron, let's talk. Speaking of makes no sense, let's talk some Major League Baseball. And I think for the first time in Major League Baseball history, Ron, we may get an announced winner prior to them actually doing the home run derby. Because right now, all I've heard was Gunnar Henderson is the only one that's committed to it. Like he's the only one.
Did you like the name of the show, by the way?
Yeah, I saw that. Gunnars
and Claymores.
That's awesome. That was a good one. Right, but how does they try to make some changes? Do we like the format? Are you interested now in watching, or is it the same old, same old?
Okay, so let's get this perfectly clear.
Okay.
I haven't been interested in watching a home run derby in about a decade. Maybe more. I mean, what is there to watch? I mean, really, what is there to watch?
If Gunnar loses to himself, how does that work?
I don't know. But right now, he's the winner.
They can't even get guys to join it now.
No.
And they've changed the format. I guess you can only get 40 pitches within 3 minutes. So if you do the 40 pitches prior to, do you think LBJ has it in his contract? You can't trade Brian. He can't trade. There's no way. They should play wiffle ball. That would be awesome.
That I would watch.
Right? Like a little wiffle ball, maybe in a little league stadium, like make it all small, see what the guy. I would love that. Watch.
Because when I was younger, when I was 12, 13 years old,
did they still have the horse and carriage back then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Look, we built a little mini Fenway Park for wiffle ball. It was the greatest thing. We had the green monster, everything. Yeah, right. It was awesome.
It's awesome. Mark, great. It's getting to the point where you don't even care about the game at all. No. And then they do all these side show things that nobody cares.
Yeah. It's a little different, like in the NBA, I like to see the 3-point shooting event. I like that. I like it better than the dunk because the dunk is the same over and over again to me. But 3-point shooting is pretty awesome to watch when they're in that groove. And I remember Larry Bird winning it. And, that's all that matters, right?
Dating yourself again, but
That's right. I don't care. I get to see those guys play. So, and then the NHL, the skills,
The skills, right?
are pretty cool.
Yep.
Those are pretty cool.
And NFL Pro Bowl.
NFL.
I don't even like the stuff they do with that. I don't know what they even call it, but it's dumb. Like we got that stupid pass thing. They can jump off
the
trampolines
targets,
and do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. They don't even do the target thing. I used to like that. At least then you see the stupid car going by and they try to hit the target. And I remember playing that when I worked. I used to work third shift. We used to draw a big bullseye on a cardboard.
Awful. It's awful.
Right? This is what I'm saying.
You can't even type it without laughing hysterically.
Right? Like NFL dodgeball game. We're talking about the NFL and dodgeball.
Right. Now
if you
that
could dodge a ball, awesome. Dodge a ball, you could dodge. If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
Right. That would be fun to watch.
But I don't like it's stupid. Like some of these things they do are just dumb. I'd rather see some of these guys run a 40, like have the fastest guys in the NFL just run a 40 and let's that be the competition. Maybe how many times can so-and-so quicksand bench press? Yeah. Make sure that, they got the lava flowing. They got to walk through over cold run. I mean, come on.
For like running backs, you want them to pull a truck,
Right? Who can move a plane? Who can pull a plane?
Right.
A home run derby, give it up. Like, just give it up.
Give it up.
Major League Baseball spot, give it up. Because you can't come up with any form. And then you don't want to do the thing where it's too fast because the guys are getting hurt, they're saying, because now they're trying to, then give it up. Do a bunting contest. Who can bunt baseball, inside the lines?
Look, for baseball, you can do like the suicides, like how they run a little bit, come back, and then run a little further, then come back, and run a little further and come back.
The kicker
duels. All the base stealers.
Kickers duels. Kickers matter. Give him some love.
Yeah, I actually like the kicking duel. I do like that.
Right? Like there's certain things like why'd you get rid of it?
Yeah.
Let's see these kickers boof 65 yards.
Yeah, you can do a competition and have like snow blowing in their face or something.
The old Vinatieri kick, right?
Yes.
Like, come on. So you can do it. Who can match it?
You just have them go out there to like a field in like Green Bay. And then you have the snow coming down. And,
right? Like something.
Or Buffalo with the wind.
Maybe that would be a good idea, Ron. You get like those cannon guns and you shoot them at the baseball player. And if they can hit it, like at least
a real cannon.
Or to James's point, dodgeball, but with baseballs.
Yeah. 100-mile-an-hour baseball.
Right? Like have the pitchers thrown at these guys and see if they can move and get out of the way. I might watch that. A guy takes one to the head, next thing you know, like,
I would watch that.
Right?
I would watch that.
A home run derby. Give it up. It's Gunnar, though. I'm calling it right now. Ron, let's do prediction right now on this one. Gunnars winning it.
Gunnars winning.
I'm going with Gunnar for the
Happy Gilmore. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I want. But you got to avoid the ball.
Yeah. Right? Like, I love it. I love it. All right, Ron. Great Major League talk. Gunnar. Got the win. We are going on to our split decisions. So our split decision segment, basically we ask each other two more likely questions, and we have to make a decision based off of that. So I am first this week.
Dude, I think that we might have a question the same today.
All right, we'll see.
I got a feeling.
And I will say, if you guys want to ask us a question, ask the question. We'll make our decision based off of that as well. So, Ron, I am first. Is it more likely that Aaron Judge hits 62 home runs, which would tie his career high? He's at 32 currently. Or has more RBIs than 131? He's currently at 83. He is on fire. The only one on the Yankees, but I mean,
I think more likely for the RBI.
So about 50 RBIs he'd be.
Yeah,
right?
because he's already surpassed the halfway mark. So
On both of them. RBIs, Mark thinks RBI.
yeah, I'm going to say the RBIs. It's a lot harder to get home runs once people are gunning for you.
But he's more than Gunner. Just avoid the Claymores. But
Right.
60, he's at 32. He's more than halfway.
Yeah,
And
but
home
I
runs,
think
too.
he's gonna have some nagging injuries, I'm sure. So I think that's gonna slow him down a little. For the
Why are you
home
going to
runs.
put that in the universe?
RBI? I don't think it's gonna slow him down. He's gonna smash that.
You're putting that in the universe. All right. What's your first split decision, Ron?
My first split decision, assuming we just basically went over basketball.
Kenny he's on pace to hit 61, so he'd fall just short.
Yeah. After the initial free agent period,
Yes.
and all the trades, who is more likely to beat the Boston Celtics in the playoffs? Dallas, Philly, Orlando, or Indiana?
I'm still going to Indiana. I loved what they did. I think Indiana's got.
I forgot. Or none, they repeat.
LeBron. The Lakers.
That's another choice.
I don't listen. We talked about them. I don't know how motivated they will be, especially with all the other stuff going on outside of it. If they sell the team, they do all that stuff, right? None. Mark thinks none. I don't know. Hardest thing to do in any sport is repeat. It's very hard, though.
Oh, it is.
It's very hard.
So
James
Mark
asked the
said
question.
none, and Kenny says they're going to repeat as well.
James asked the question. More likely Red Sox make the playoffs or the Yankees win the division?
Yankees win the division.
No, Yankees stink. Baltimore's winning the division. Red Sox, after this weekend, will be like 2 games away from passing New York. New York's absolutely tanking right now. Tanking. 2-8 in their last 10. They're horrible. Horrible. And they're not even losing a good team.
To win the division.
They're not winning it. I'm going Red Sox make the playoffs. More likely Red Sox win the playoffs.
You're out of your mind.
Great question, James.
That was a good question.
That was a very good question. All right, my second split decision, Ron. Is it more likely Aja Wilson beats the points per game record for a season in the WNBA? She is currently averaging 27 points. The record is 25.29 by Diana Taurasi. Or Angel Reese beats the record for rebounds per game in a season. She is currently at 11.8 rebounds per game. The record is 11.88 by Sylvia Fowles.
Who is Aja's teammate? That's
Chelsea Plum.
Okay.
She's got Plum. She's on the Aces.
I'm gonna say it's Aja.
So you think she holds on and becomes the all-time points per game?
I don't think
Wilson.
holds on.
Mark thinks Wilson as well. Although right now Angel Reese is tied.
Yeah, I know. I don't think she holds on.
No, you think she dips a little bit? Double machine right now for the WNBA. Her and Caitlin Clark both All-Stars. Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah,
WNBA All-Stars.
They are a special rookie class.
Do you think that if they sit next to each other on the bench, Angel Reese tries to like elbow her in the head or something? More likely, Angel Reese tries to take her out during the WNBA All-Star game. That's a tough question because that may happen. Hey, you're on the same team. Why is she clothesline? I don't know what's going on.
It could. But yeah, right. No, I like Wilson in this.
Yes. This having a great season. 27 points per game. It's phenomenal.
And I knew she had another teammate that was big, and I couldn't think of Chelsea's name. Yeah.
Yeah. They just got divorced, her and Darren Waller, the tight end. Who gets rookie of the year? I think it's Caitlin.
Yeah,
I think it's almost a guarantee.
She's great.
I don't even think it's a question. Not that. Listen, Angel Reese having a very good season.
Yes,
but
they're putting bodies in the seats.
If you think about
all the previous women,
yeah, and I will say this: if you think of how bad Indiana started, the fever, and now she's got them almost in the playoffs.
Right? I thought they were in the playoffs.
I think you said, I don't know with the last.
I think they were in the 8th spot.
But so, like the fact that she could elevate that team enough to get into a playoff, I think she gets it. Yeah, the Chicago Sky won a few years ago.
Yeah.
But no, great question, Mark. Ron, your second split decision.
All right. There seems to be something similar here. After the initial free agency period and recent trades, who is more likely to beat the Florida Panthers in the playoffs?
Ah,
Is it Edmonton Oilers, Boston Bruins, Carolina Hurricanes, New York Rangers, or none? They will repeat.
I think they almost choked it away anyway, because to have to go from being 3-0 to 3-3 and a game 7 and only went in 2-1. I don't know if they win again. I think they're far less likely to repeat than the Celtics. So I'll go that route first. I'll say Carolina. Carolina's been so close. Rangers too. Like one of those two teams, I could see doing it. So I would say Carolina, then the Rangers. I don't know. Edmonton really didn't do much. And I think the other two teams are already very talented. So I'd go Carolina, New York Rangers.
I would have taken those two off because they've lost more players than
but they
gained.
they've had a ton of talent. They got a ton of talent.
But
and the Bruins,
forget
it. I'm not going Bruins, please. Choke every year.
Absolutely. They're going to be the ones to do it.
Ron, we're not going to do this.
I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah. I heard that before.
Okay, what they just picked up is just unbelievable.
Good segue, my friend, because we are on to our NHL. We're going to talk some hockey. We're going to have some fun here. So NHL free agency, Bruins made some moves, Ron. You are my hockey guy, a diehard Bruins fan. So do you like the pickups of, is it Elias? How did you say it was? Elias Lindholm, Nikita Zadorov as well.
Those are fantastic signings. Oh, my gosh. I'm actually stunned that they got them both, to be honest with you.
So Lindholm, 7 years, 54.25 million. And then Zadorov was 6 years, 30 million. Finally a center, Mark.
Yes.
I will question, though. Are you concerned, though? I've noticed the last 2 years. So his best season, 2022, Lindholm. 42 goals, 40 assists, a plus 61, phenomenal season. If you look at it, last 2 years, he's actually had a decline both years.
Yeah.
And obviously got traded between Calgary and Vancouver this year.
Yep. Yeah.
No concern there.
First of all, in Calgary, you lose your winger, Johnny Gaudreau. You lose Kachuk. That was the line, right? He didn't have those guys, nowhere near the talent on that level playing on his line. And he's going to be coming here to Boston, and he's either going to have, most likely it's going to be Zacha and Pasternak on his side. That is talent. And he's going to have a much better season. Even if he didn't play on that line, he's going to be with Marchand. And probably Coyle. They'll probably put Coyle on the side, depending on how they do it. But I think he's going to be with Pasternak and Zacha. And that is he's going to elevate his game right there. And look, it's a legitimate center. And that's going to help this team tremendously. And
so he's on the first line.
So yeah, he'll be on the first line. Definitely. It's not even a question. He'll be centering the first line.
And then Mark said it. Big body defenseman.
Big.
6'6", 248.
This guy is a house. He's huge.
6'6", 248. That's a middle linebacker.
Yes.
That is pretty good.
Look.
That one I like.
You're giving up Grzelcyk and Forbort. That's who they gave up. Grzelcyk was absolutely a train wreck for the Bruins this season. And a big part of why they got annihilated in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like that for a couple of years. Forbort just didn't have it this year. He was as good as he was last season. He was pretty bad this year. And you have two kids coming up, and now you have this guy to go in the lineup in your top four. He's going to be massive. He's going to be a tank. And I mean, I know they lost DeBrusque, and now you have to figure out what are they going to do for that winger. And I was thinking, oh my God, they have to sign a winger, but it's going to have to be somebody for $2 million. So maybe you can go out and get Van Riemsdyk again. Who had I don't know, like 11 goals or something. But you might have one of the kids down in the minors, Lysell and Merkulov. Lysell had 15 goals and like 30 assists, and Merkulov had 30 goals down in Providence.
Who was the kid that got hurt? The young kid.
Patra.
Right, so he's back too, right? Like he was
will
playing
be back.
well.
He'll be centering the third line.
Yeah, right. He was playing well too. So again, I think
Yep.
I agree with you. Listen, Ron, we kid. I like to jab at you a little bit, but the Boston Bruins, honestly, I didn't expect them to do anything or anything significant in making these moves. At least you see that. Look, they're not going to stay packed and say, "Look, we're just going to continue to try to make the playoffs."
No, they went for it,
right? They made some good moves. I agree with Mark. I love the Zadorov. I think they needed a big body, somebody that's physical. We said that going into the Florida series. Who's going to be the guy that's just going to hit somebody or kind of you go hit a 6'6", 248 guy, you're going to feel it.
Or anybody on the ice with him.
Right? So
I've seen him play. He will go after somebody if need be. And this is something that really irritated me about Maroon. And I know Maroon is a smart player, and he didn't want to just go out there and police and get penalties. But you know what? At some point, you need to do it. And you didn't. Therefore, you're not on the team, and that is why they didn't re-sign him.
Because even Maroon, we thought when he was out there, he didn't do anything.
No, he looked slow and useless.
Wasn't a good fit. Wasn't a good fit. So, Ron, with that being said, we're going to talk a little bit more about some hockey because another team really went all in. Nashville Predators signed both Steve Stamkos and Jonathan Marchessault. I was close. Whatever.
No, you weren't close.
You messed me up earlier. Stamkos, 4 years, $32 million. Jonathan was 5 years, $25 million. I'm going the other way. You knew what I was doing there. What else? And also Brady, is it Skija? Sky?
I just call him Sky.
Oh, wait. Brady, that's another big pickup, 7 years, $49 million.
And that's another player that Carolina lost. And this is why I'm saying Carolina is going to take a step back. I don't think they're going to be the team.
Right. You add them with Philip Forsberg, Roman Josi, 7 seed last year, but now you're talking experience. Stamkos postseason and his wins.
Stamkos still has the skill.
Right.
Look, don't think he's lost it yet. The dude scored, 40 goals last year?
And then your boy Conn Smythe 2 years ago, right? So, again, you're getting guys with experience in the postseason and know how to win.
Yeah.
I love what Nashville did.
I do too.
I think these are all players that are going to play well, though. It's not like you write it down, you go, you hope, or these are all still guys that can
proven players.
Yeah.
Proven.
So,
and that team, to me, I think takes a leapfrog over several teams. And they can be a contender.
Yeah, no, I think a phenomenal job. And listen, to your point, you don't expect it. And then all of a sudden it was like, wow, holy cow. Stamkos, we knew was on the move, but you thought it would have probably been to a team that like a Carolina or somebody that was just, and I don't know if they don't have the money, but that is right there.
Yeah.
And Nashville wasn't, they were in the postseason, but they weren't like, but they picked up enough pieces to put them to leapfrog a lot of different teams.
Right. And they're going to be a tough team. Look, you got to go against Roman Josi too, because he's one of the best defensemen in the league. Mm-hmm. And this team was solid defensively. Very suspect on the offense. Philip Forsberg really didn't have a whole lot to work with.
Yeah, I think he still had 90-something points.
He just got a boatload now.
Yeah, I think he still had 90-something points.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
So, yeah, you just had it. Yeah, I mean, just let's make it easy.
You're going to have 2 good lines now.
So,
two really good lines.
It's awesome. Hockey's awesome, man. Watch the postseason. Hockey was phenomenal. And then even with this off-season stuff, you start to see some of these teams come together. It's really fun to see. So we're going to continue that theme run.
Chicago picking up guys left and right. They're putting some people with Bedard.
He needs it. He needs it.
Gonna have it.
All right, my friend. Let's talk some more hockey with our pick and roll.
It's time for pick and roll.
So we are on episode 27, season 4. So 27 years ago, Ron, NHL draft had some great players. We're going to decide how we rank them. That's Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, right? Did I say it correctly?
Marleau.
That was close.
Yeah.
Roberto
Luongo.
Luongo. I told you, adult beverages, little golfing, adult beverages. I'm happy. Sergei Samsonov, Ali Jokin, and Marian Hossa.
Yes.
And we're going to rank them from 6 to 1. I am.
Forget somebody.
No, I got everybody.
Roberto Luongo?
I said it.
Oh,
maybe if you were paying attention, you were making fun of my wine joke. All right. So when a lot of times when I do the hockey, I'm like, oh, I know all these guys' names. They got to be really good because I don't know a lot of hockey guys. And then I was like, wow, some of these guys are they're okay. They were like,
no. Let's get this straight. They're all good players. They just don't stand out as much as others.
Yes. Okay. We'll go with that. I like how you want to be politically correct in today's world, Ron. I appreciate that about you. So at 6, I went Oli Jokinen.
Yep.
1,231 games, 321 goals, 429 assists, 750 points, a minus 132. Very impressive. 54 game winners, didn't win a single thing. Never was an all-star.
He's a decent hockey player, but when you look
that's
at
what I'm saying, right? You look at the
32,
numbers, right? And he never won anything, not a single thing.
No.
At 5, I went Patrick.
Oddly enough, I think he's known to be a defensive player.
Oh, jeez. At 5, I went Patrick Marleau. Not Merlot.
Nope. Patrick Marleau. Okay.
1,779 games. I'm like, wow, this guy had a career, huh? 566 goals, 631 assists, 1,197 points, a minus 27, 109 game-winning goals. Did not win anything else after that either. So I said, okay. So then at 4, I went Sergei Samsonov, 888 games. So not as much as any of the other guys. He had the least amount of games, but 235 goals, 336 assists, 571 points, a plus 11. So he was finally somebody in a positive. 38 game-winning goals. He did win a Calder, and he was on the all-rookie team. So at least the guy won something. At 3, and I think this guy stuck around too long, and we said it. Look at that beard, man. That thing's just not, it's ugly. Joe Thornton. I went Joe Thornton at 3, 1,714 games, 430 goals, 1,109 assists. That's pretty impressive. 1,539 points, a plus 182, 68 game-winning goals, a 4-time All-Star. He won a Ross, and he won a Hart. So very good player.
He's the best player to never win a Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup, right? Yeah. At 2, I went Roberto Luongo. What a great goalie he was. 1,044 games. He was 489, 392, and 124 ties, 77 shutouts, a 2.52 goals against, a 919 save percentage, 2-time All-Star, 1-time Jennings. But I went Hossa at 1, 1,309 games, 525 goals, 609 assists for 1,134 points, a plus 245, phenomenal. 85 game-winning goals, made the all-rookie team, was an all-star once, three Stanley Cups. So I went Hossa as my number 1 in this pick and roll.
Okay. All right. So number 6, I had Olli Jokinen. Again, that minus 132 just stuck out too much. Too much.
Not good at all.
So I don't care what the numbers are. That is just atrocious no matter what. I mean, he has a lot of skill, but man, he was a sif. Like the opponents just go right through him. I mean, it's pretty bad. 100 minus 132. Number 5, I have Patrick Marleau. I don't know. I mean, I know he has a lot of goals, 566 of them, but he never put anything to use.
And again, most games out of everybody on this list.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's just something about it that just stinks, and it's timely. Like he might pile up a lot of goals in a game that doesn't amount to anything, and I don't like that. Number 4, I have Sergei Samsonov, former Bruin. This guy was spectacular to watch. Look, he was not the same player after he left Boston. I don't know what happened, but he was scoring about 25 goals a season for Boston, and he left, and then he never hit 20 again. And I don't know if just the pressure of that last season with Boston leaving, and if that altered him in any way. Maybe he loved Boston and didn't want to leave, and maybe got homesick. I don't know. I don't know what the story is with him, but he was never the same player after that. He would score about 15, 16 goals a season after that. And, he still had a pretty decent career. 235 goals, 336 assists, a plus 11, 38 game winners. He won the Calder, and that's what put him above Jokinen and Marleau to me, because at least he got something out of it. And he was a much better player than what it showed in the end, like the second half of his career, when he just didn't get the goals for whatever reason, probably didn't get the playing time, and probably didn't see power play time. So number 3, I have Jumbo Joe Thornton. Wow, he was so good. He was so good. It's a shame that he didn't win a Stanley Cup. I mean, he's a former Bruin as well, and he had a great career in San Jose. And, he won an Art Ross trophy for scoring. He won the Hart Trophy for an MVP. He's a great player that never won anything. Probably the best skater to never win a Stanley Cup. Because I say skater when number 2, Roberto Luongo, did not win a Stanley Cup either. So I think his numbers looked fantastic across the board. I mean, a little more losses than I'd like to see him have. Less than 100 more wins than losses. 124 ties is just absurd.
Crazy in today's,
77 shutouts, though. That's pretty good in today's game. But his goals against average, 2.52, like you said, and 919 save percentage. When you look at his playoffs, it's if I'm not mistaken, it's 8-10 record. He had a 2.54 goals against average and a 918 save percentage in the playoffs. So he was doing his job.
Yeah, nobody was scoring.
The team in front of him never did. And that's why he never won one. But he did win a Jennings Trophy and 2 All-Stars. This guy was a great goaltender. He just didn't have a team in front of him to win it all.
Agreed.
And number 1, Marian Hossa. Hossa. Look, 525 goals. So he's got the goal scoring like Patrick Marleau did. He has 609 assists, 1,100 plus points. This man was a plus 245.
Yeah.
See the difference, Patrick? See the difference? 85 game winners, an all-star, Hall of Famer, 3-time Stanley Cup winner. We had the same list.
Yeah, not bad. Wow. That happened. And it's hockey. How'd I do, buddy, huh? How'd I do?
You did really well for yourself.
Thank you, sir.
I'm impressed that you put Patrick Marleau at number 5, because you look at those goals, it's very easy to say, oh, my God, you belong way up the list.
Yeah, but then you look at, again, he didn't win anything. He didn't do much after that. Great list. All right, my friend, it is time for predictions. So last week, again, the one week pick different. I won that one. So 5-3 last week for me. Ron 4-4. Kenny 3-5. Rough week there, Kenny. Again, if you are joining us live and want to get your name on the list, just make sure you let us know who you're picking during each game when we announce each game, and we will add you to our list.
Yeah, Mark,
See
get
if you
in
can
on
do-
this.
So let me know. So we are starting off, Ron, series between the rivals. They're back again. Boston Red Sox at the New York Yankees. That is starting tonight. First pitch probably just happened a little while ago. I went Boston here.
I didn't want to do that. I was hoping you were just going to say Yankees and let me go with the same as you,
I told you that.
because I don't want to pick them. But I think they're going to play better
And
because
you went Sox. James went Sox.
I'm going Boston. Wait, is it in New York?
Yes.
I can't. They're playing bad. Red
All right.
Sox, for some reason, are winning.
Mark's still live. You got to pick. Let us know. Red Sox at Yankees. Best of three.
Because I still have the same amount of viewers.
All right. Our next game, Major League Baseball as well, Ron. 7-9. Los Angeles Dodgers at the Philadelphia Phillies. It's a big game. Big series.
What's the status on Hopper and
I think
Schwarber?
they're still.
Yeah, I'm going LA.
Ron went LA. I went LA as well. I think the Dodgers, again, little healthier, not much more, but a little healthier than the Phillies right now.
Come on, Mark. Let's go.
Let's see if Kenny and James got a pick as well. The Dodgers. James went to LA.
Oh, that's pretty cute. The Dodgers like a bullfighter.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Kenny, nothing. Kenny on that delay again. We love Kenny's delay.
No, Kenny's got the sock. Oh no, we're not doing the Sox.
Dodgers. Oh, he's got the Dodgers every time. Love him.
Dodgers.
Kenny, you are always good for a laugh, my friend. You're always good for a laugh. WNBA action on 7-10. You got the New York Liberty at the Connecticut Sun. This is for first place. Connecticut not playing as well last 10 games. New York Liberty hot right now. I went New York.
Yeah, I'm going Connecticut. I think that this game is going to get them back into the groove. They're going to be at home, and I think they come through and they do it.
All right. The Sun for Kenny.
Kenny going home.
Sun as well. James.
Oh.
All right. All right.
I feel
Also
like
on July 10th, you got the Las Vegas Aces at the Seattle Storm.
I'm going Seattle. I think Seattle's having a good season. I think they're playing very well. They're going to be at home, and I'm going to take Seattle.
I went Seattle as well. I mean, listen, if you look at it, honestly, Vegas not playing as well. I think they're third in the division. Seattle's ahead of them and playing good and very good at home. They're very good at home.
Yes.
So I went Seattle. James went Vegas.
He's rolling the dice.
Oh, the Seattle Storm.
Oh, look at that. He's trying to compete with James.
I like it. I like it. Major League Soccer action, Ron. We've got on the 6th tomorrow, the Football Club of Cincinnati at Inter Miami CF. I messed myself up. I was going to change. I'm going to change this beforehand. I'm going Cincinnati.
I'm still not ready to go against Messi.
Messi's not playing.
He's not playing?
He is playing in the Copa America for Argentina.
Oh, then I'm going Cincinnati.
Yeah, they beat Ecuador last night. I watched that in penalties.
Yeah, what's the U.S. team doing?
Just missed.
Yeah, just missed. They suck.
They just missed.
They suck.
James going Miami. I like the Hurricane, though. I don't know if that's politically insensitive right now with all the hurricanes going on. Kenny went Cincinnati. All right. We also got Major League Soccer. The Portland Timbers at Nashville Soccer Club.
I'm gonna go Nashville in this one. I'm gonna take. Hey, you know what? No, not doing it. I'm not doing it. We're going tie, baby.
You're going to tie.
I'm going tie.
Okay. Tie. I went Portland. Portland, very good on the road. So I went Portland Timbers.
Yeah.
The Timbers, Kenny.
I get the tie on that. Oh my God. I'll die if it happens. It's funny.
Very likely, man.
It is.
Portland as well for James. All right. And then we got NASCAR, my friend, on this Sunday, Grant Park 165 in Chicago. We need a top 5 driver. This is a street race. So this is fun. These are some good ones.
Yeah.
I went Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott for me.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick.
Thank you, my friend.
He was in my crosshairs for this. But I did not go with him, of course. I am going to go with Martin Truex Jr.
Okay, Martin Truex. Bobby Labonte. Oh, wow.
Is he still racing?
No, he's going Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott.
All right. Me and James
racing.
both have Chase. Kenny jumping in again. Another.
Let's go, Kenny. Come on.
Kenny, you got this.
You got this.
Maybe not.
I need a nice little win for Truex.
So that is our prediction segment for this week. Again, if you ever join us live and you want to get in on our prediction chart, let us know. You can give us your picks during our segment, and we will add you to our prediction chart. I did want to, Ron, before we get into our final thoughts, announce our winner, our new inductees into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. So excited to add Dale Earnhardt and Jackie Robinson have been nominated as our next inductees into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. You can see their names right there. Jackie Robinson now in baseball and Dale Earnhardt in the auto racing. On our right side is all of the inductees into our Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. On the left is all of the athletes that have been voted on and have not made it yet to our Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Sandy Koufax, 35% on baseball. So he's getting up there. Oscar Robinson, 44% as well, Ron, huh? You think about it. Michael Phelps, not in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. So we are starting a new voting for the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame for the month of July. We will put those sports polls up shortly on our Sports Unfolded sports poll page. And we are at NHL. Georges Vezina.
Named for the Vezina Trophy.
Vezina Trophy. Patrick Roy, Roberto Luongo, Ed Belfour, Henrik Lundqvist. So some great goaltenders there. Those are our nominees for the NHL.
Yeah, Martin Brodeur did not get in last time he was on one of the polls.
Yeah, so Sports Unfolded, NHL, Hall of Fame nominees. So cast your votes. That poll will be up this week. I believe
you were upset because I think that's who you voted for.
I did. I believed in goaltenders, man. I do. I think they should get some love too. We always go for the skaters. Everybody looks at the skaters. And then we also have from the Olympics.
Oh, this is going to be joyous. This is worth watching the show just to watch you pronounce these names.
Olga Korbut, Larissa Latnina, Svetlana Korkina, Shannon Miller, and Nadia Kamenichi.
Okay, so it's Olga Korbut, Larissa Latnina, Svetlana Korkina, Shannon Miller, and Nadia Komenichi.
All nominated for the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Next week, Ron will be saying all their names. But those polls will be up shortly. So make sure that you vote. Let's get these athletes into our Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. We appreciate all the support with that. Again, these are voted by the fans. So again, there is no ulterior motive. We don't vote them. I nominate. I don't. See, my man's got see, James always coming out with the names. You can follow our show in so many different ways. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We are live. We're Fan Interactive every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can support us in many different ways. Patreon is our newest addition.
We got mugs coming for
mugs coming.
They're on the way.
All-time table tennis, great.
Stickers.
So a lot going on when it comes to Sports Unfolded and Rhode Island Broadcasting. So continue to support us. Donate stars, bits as well. You can also buy me a coffee. If you go there, you can donate, as well as many other ways. Ron, before we get into our final thoughts, can you also tell the wonderful people out there how they can become a sponsor of Sports Unfolded and get their names right up on the top banner every single week and have hundreds of eyes on their business every single day?
Absolutely, Eric. I'd be a jerk if I didn't do it, right?
Yes.
And then nobody would want to sponsor this fantastic show. And that would be really senseless. So we have a little spot up there that you could have your banner up there. So we would read out the banner. It would be up there for people to see. And of course, on the audio version of the show, it would be read off to millions of people across the globe, right? Millions. Well, you can do that simply by sending an email to ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out all the information. But again, Eric, like I say every week, the only information you need to know is that it costs less than going to your local coffee shop and buying an iced coffee and a double chocolate donut.
So many different ways to like, support, and follow our show. Again, get your name on there. Let's get a sponsor for Sports Unfolded. Kenny, go right on the website, look up Rhode Island Broadcasting.
Look, here it is right there, Kenny.
You can also at Sports Unfolded as well. Those are the ways you can follow us on Patreon. Again, some great program on Rhode Island Broadcasting, so check them out. Again, Sports Unfolded live every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you check us out. We are also on Southeast Connecticut Public Access Channel 12 on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. on SEC TV. Check us out there. If you're watching us now, join us live every Friday night. Also, 99.1 WDJY, Dallas, Georgia. Again, we appreciate the support we've gotten from you. If you're enjoying the show, check us out every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. You can watch us live and help join in on the show. We've also had that ticker running. So all the different ways. If you don't know how to follow us or how to look us up, it'll tell you all the different ways to do it. And if you don't like looking at Ron's ugly face, you can also listen to us audio-wise as well. So we are on all our audio platforms as well. So many different ways to like, watch, follow, share our show, listen. So check us out. Again, we love doing this. Oh, there it is. That'll bring them in, Ron. That'll bring them in. We are on to our final thoughts. And our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. I am first today, and I am blessed. So I wanted to just kind of give my congratulations to my stepson, Eddie, and his new bride, Julie. They just got married today. So congratulations to them on starting their life together. Really proud of what he's doing. He's serving our country in the Navy. Appreciate his service as well. My stepdaughter had a gender reveal today as well. Baby boy, grandchild number 3 for this guy.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
Grandchild number 3 for this guy. So congratulations.
Your granddaughter had a gender reveal.
Yes, she. Well, it's a new thing we're trying. But announced a baby boy. So congratulations to her and Ron. And then I also wanted to wish my grandson a very happy birthday today. He is 10 years old today. They celebrated his birthday as well. So congratulations, Ezra, on hitting double digits now, 10 years old.
Okay,
So.
now that you gave me 0 seconds for mine.
And we're done. Thank you for chiming in and watching today. Thank you, Kenny.
Look, first of all, we are in our 4th season, right? And we haven't missed. Sports Unfolded hasn't missed an episode since it debuted. So I think it's like 181. I think this is the 182nd episode.
That's crazy.
We're almost at 200. And I just want to thank everybody because the numbers have just been fantastic. We had, like, today was fun being with Kenny and Mark and James commenting online, so I'm glad fans are starting to really get it. And I hope it continues for a long time, So look, the only thing I ask is share and follow. That's all I can ask you to do. If you go on Patreon, fine, great. That is even better because we could always use the support. And now that we have some merch that we can give back, and it's really simple. Once you do it for the first month, you're going to get a bunch of stickers coming at you. Then after a while, I got coasters that actually are here. I have to put it on the Patreon page today or tomorrow. They just came in. So we have coasters after, 3 months. And we have mugs. And then we're going to have the shirts. The shirts are going to start rolling in pretty soon. So got a lot of things coming. So get on there. Support us any way you can. That is the absolute best thing that we can ask for is the support. So that's it.
Ron, thank you for a great show tonight. Did want to say, whoever stole my license plate, if you want to bring it back, I appreciate that as well.
There's a reward for it?
There's some stickers. We'll give them some stickers, Ron.
Okay.
But I do want to thank everybody that joined us live. Kenny, James, and Mark, you guys were amazing tonight. Thank you for helping make this show so much more exciting as well. Don't forget to go check out the Sports Unfolded Sports poll page. Those nominees will be up tonight, and you can vote for your pick for the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. We do want to, again, congratulate Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jackie Robinson for both being inducted into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Phenomenal players, phenomenal athletes. And that's our list right there of all the great athletes that we have currently in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Continue to help us get more athletes in there. You decide this, the fan. So that's what makes this so special. We don't pick them, you pick them. So continue to help us help that grow. We appreciate that as well. Ron, I can't wait to do this again next Friday. It is.
I know. I'm ready to go waiting.
We enjoy. Check out Going On Daily.
Going On Daily. We'll be back on Monday morning.
Right. Such a great morning show every 9 a.m. every
9 a.m.
every day. 9 a.m. Check
Not
them
every
out
day,
as well.
but most of the days.
So check them out as well. Great show. Some great programming on Rhode Island Broadcasting. Again, continue like, share, follow our shows. We appreciate all the support. We ask that everybody out there continue to join us live every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. And all we ever ask for every single episode is that we get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite host,